Have you ever wondered what you'd do if a heart attack hit while you were completely alone? It's a chilling thought that strikes at our deepest fears of helplessness. Every year, thousands face this terrifying reality, and the harsh truth is that the first few minutes can mean the difference between life and death. But here's the hope. You can take control, even when no one else is around. In this video, we reveal 7 simple life-saving steps to survive a heart attack solo, tailored for you, our American audience, with clear, practical advice in a style you trust. Why watch until the end? These steps aren't just tips, they're a lifeline, grounded in science and real stories, like Richard, 74, who acted fast and lived. You'll learn to spot subtle warning signs that don't scream heart attack, discover why chewing an aspirin can buy critical time, and master small actions, like unlocking your door, that could save seconds paramedics need. Each step builds on the last, and the final ones are often overlooked but could be your edge. No medical jargon, no fancy gear, just straightforward actions anyone can take. Whether you live alone or want to protect loved ones, this knowledge empowers you. Don't wait until it's too late to learn what your body's trying to tell you. Stick with us to the end, because these 250 words are just the start of saving your life. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Number 1. Recognizing the earliest warning signs. The first and, perhaps, the most crucial step in surviving a heart attack alone is being able to recognize what it feels like. And I don't just mean the sudden, sharp pain in your chest. I mean paying attention to the way your entire body responds, how it might be trying to tell you something is wrong. Most of us have a mental picture of what a heart attack looks like, thanks to movies and TV. We imagine the dramatic, chest-clutching pain, the kind that forces people to collapse, unable to catch their breath. But the truth is, real heart attacks are often much subtler, and if you're not paying attention, you could easily miss the signs that are trying to warn you. Those early signs are often much more inconspicuous. They can almost feel like your body is trying to whisper to you, but most people ignore those whispers until it's too late. I can't stress this enough. It's so easy to dismiss these early symptoms, thinking they're just some minor inconvenience or a passing moment of discomfort. But the reality is, they could be the difference between life and death. What you're looking for is a deep, heavy pressure in the middle of your chest, almost as if something is weighing you down. It may feel like there's an invisible force pressing against your chest, or like your chest is slowly filling up with something as dense as cement. It's not sharp, but it's unmistakable. It can come and go, and that's when people make the mistake of thinking it's nothing to worry about. But here's the thing, if it lasts for more than a few minutes, or keeps coming back, don't ignore it. You can't afford to second-guess it. But the chest pressure isn't always the first or only symptom. In some cases, especially in older adults or women, the first sign could be shortness of breath. You might find yourself winded, like you just climbed a flight of stairs, even though you've been sitting still the entire time. That breathlessness is often overlooked, but it's a massive red flag. And the symptoms can vary so much from one person to the next. You might feel pain radiating down one arm, or perhaps in your shoulder, neck, or jaw. For some, dizziness, lightheadedness, or a cold sweat that feels like it came out of nowhere can suddenly appear. Nausea, or a general sense of unease, might also hit, leaving you questioning what's going on. For some, the pain might not even be in the chest at all. It could feel more like pressure in the stomach or back. That's why it's so important to pay attention to everything that's happening in your body. Listen to the signals. It's like your body has its language, and learning to understand it could save your life. I think about Richard, 74, who was sitting at his kitchen table one afternoon when he suddenly felt a strange tightness under his collarbone. At first, He brushed it off, thinking it was just heartburn. But as time passed, he realized that he couldn't take a full breath. His hands began to sweat. And that's when he remembered reading somewhere that not all heart attacks come with the iconic chest pain. Instead of dismissing the discomfort, he took action. And I truly believe that decision, however small it seemed at the time, may have been the thing that saved his life. It's easy to think, it's nothing, or I'll be fine. But when it comes to heart attacks, that's often the exact moment when you're running out of time. The truth is, your body will often whisper before it screams. And those whispers, those subtle signs that seem insignificant, are your only chance to act before the damage starts. If you wait for that dramatic, movie-like chest-clutching scene to unfold, by the time it happens, it could be too late to reverse the damage. The early signs are your first chance at survival, your moment to act before it's too far gone. If you ever feel that pressure, that breathlessness, or that overwhelming fatigue that just doesn't make sense, don't ignore it. Stop what you're doing. Don't try to brush it off. Don't convince yourself it's just indigestion, or that you're just tired. These subtle signs are your body's way of telling you that something is wrong. And when it comes to your health, there is no such thing as a minor symptom if you're feeling something unusual. Trust me when I say that recognizing these warning signs can mean the difference between life and death. Number 2. Calling emergency services immediately. When you begin to suspect that a heart attack might be starting, the very first thing you must do, without a second of hesitation, is call 911. I cannot stress this enough. Do not wait, do not second-guess yourself, and certainly do not attempt to drive yourself to the hospital. Your body may be sending out warning signals that could save your life, so don't ignore them. It's incredibly easy to think, maybe this will pass, or maybe I'm just overreacting. But the truth is that this is not the time for hesitation. Every single second counts during a heart attack. The longer your heart muscle is deprived of oxygen, the more damage is done. I've always believed that taking swift action when faced with danger can make all the difference. And when it comes to heart attacks, this is undeniably true. The quicker you act, the higher your chances of survival. Calling 911 is the most effective, most life-saving choice you can make. Trust me when I say that you cannot walk off a heart attack. You cannot wait and see. That would be risking your life. And here's why it's so crucial. When you call 911, you're not just asking for a ride to the hospital. You're getting the fastest, most immediate help possible. Emergency medical teams are trained professionals who know exactly what to do in these situations. As they drive toward you, they're already preparing to act. They bring with them life-saving equipment, medication, and the expertise to keep you alive, even if your heart stops beating before you reach the hospital. In that moment, it's not just about getting to the hospital. It's about getting the right care, immediately. The truth is that when a heart attack strikes, symptoms can escalate fast. You don't know if you'll be able to make it through, and that's why driving yourself is one of the most dangerous things you can do. You might lose consciousness. You might swerve and cause an accident. You could delay your care in ways you can't anticipate. Let the professionals come to you. Don't put yourself at even greater risk. Take Linda's story, for example. At 78, she suddenly felt an ache in her left shoulder, followed by a wave of nausea and cold sweat. As terrifying as that was, she paused, thought for a moment, and remembered the words of a nurse she'd once heard. If you're alone and might be having a heart attack, call 911 first. Talk to your family later. That moment of clarity changed everything. Linda made the call. By the time the ambulance arrived, her symptoms had worsened significantly, but the emergency team was prepared. They stabilized her right there, on the spot. That phone call, made in the middle of fear and uncertainty, saved her life. You don't need to be absolutely certain you're having a heart attack before you call for help. The 911 dispatcher is trained to handle all sorts of calls. Even if it turns out that what you're feeling isn't a heart attack, they won't be upset. They'd prefer to send help you don't need than miss the chance to save your life. So, if you're ever in doubt, pick up the phone and call. It's always better to err on the side of caution. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. It's also incredibly important to keep your phone close at hand, especially if you live alone. If you feel symptoms coming on and struggle to speak clearly, don't panic. Many phones have an emergency feature, a shortcut to call for help, even if your phone is locked, and you should know where it is. Take a few minutes now to familiarize yourself with this feature. It's not just a convenience, it's a lifeline that could be the difference between life and death when every second counts. At the end of the day, calling 911 is simple, but its importance is immeasurable. When you're faced with a heart attack, let the professionals come to you, and remember, don't wait, don't hesitate, and don't try to handle it alone. Number 3. Chewing an aspirin slowly and calmly. After you've called emergency services, there's another life-saving step that might seem incredibly simple but can have an immeasurable impact on your survival. Chewing an aspirin. I know it may sound straightforward, but it's crucial to chew it slowly. Even if your hands are trembling and panic starts to take over, resist the urge to swallow it whole. Just chew it. This simple act can be the difference between life and death. If you have a regular 325 milligram aspirin available to you, and you're not allergic to it or on any blood thinners that could interfere, this small tablet can give you a much-needed chance at survival. Aspirin works by thinning the blood, preventing or slowing the formation of the very blood clot that might be blocking one of your coronary arteries, the reason behind your heart attack. But there's a crucial twist. You need to chew it. When you chew the aspirin, it enters your system much faster. It's almost like giving your body the time it desperately needs to respond, especially in those precious first few moments. The difference a few minutes can make in a heart attack is staggering. Studies have shown that by chewing aspirin, you can often buy yourself those precious minutes. Minutes that can sometimes make all the difference in restoring blood flow to your heart before the professionals arrive. Think about it. A simple pill, taken in the most basic way, can give you a chance to keep fighting. However, it's important to note that you shouldn't take aspirin on an empty stomach unless necessary. But when it comes to a heart attack, the risk of clotting far outweighs any concern about stomach irritation. Another point, don't take coated or delayed-release aspirin. You need the effects to start kicking in immediately, so even if that's all you have, just chew it. Don't wait. The sooner the aspirin starts working, the sooner it can potentially save your life. Let me share a real-life story with you. Joe, a 72-year-old man, woke up one morning with an unusual tightness spreading across his chest and up to his neck. As the discomfort turned into a deep, ominous pressure, he remembered the aspirin bottle sitting in his kitchen cabinet. With nothing but the time ticking against him, Joe chewed a pill slowly while sitting, trying to remain calm as he awaited the arrival of the paramedics. Later, his cardiologist explained that the aspirin he took may have significantly reduced the damage to his heart. The doctor told him, that pill likely kept things from getting worse. It kept you from losing even more precious muscle. It's stories like Joe's that remind us just how powerful something as small as an aspirin can be. If you live alone, make sure that aspirin is easily accessible. Whether it's in your nightstand, tucked away in your kitchen drawer, or even in your wallet, just ensure that it's there, ready when you need it. And make sure it hasn't expired. This act may feel simple, almost insignificant, but it's based on sound science, and emergency responders all over the world trust it. Chewing aspirin during the onset of a heart attack isn't just a suggestion, it's a proven intervention. In those early, critical minutes, it can be the one thing that keeps you alive. It could be the difference between walking out of the hospital and never making it there at all. Number 4. Sitting or lying down to protect your heart. When you're faced with the frightening reality of a heart attack, your immediate instinct might be to move. Maybe to prepare for help, grab your phone, or try to reassure yourself that everything will be fine. But after you've called for help and taken aspirin, your next step, though simple, is crucial. you must stop moving. In that moment, it's not about what's happening around you. It's about protecting yourself, your heart, and your future. Find the safest, most comfortable position you can and sit or lie down. This isn't the time to pace back and forth, to worry about getting things in order, or to deal with trivial distractions. Every extra step, every slight movement, adds unnecessary strain to your heart, which is already struggling to pump oxygen to the rest of your body. This is an urgent moment, and the priority should be clear. Give your heart the peace it desperately needs. Ideally, you should sit back with your spine supported, feet flat on the ground, and arms resting loosely by your sides. You might not realize it, but this stillness is what helps your heart. It reduces the workload on your already overburdened heart and ensures that your body doesn't burn through the limited oxygen it has left. If you start feeling lightheaded or faint, don't push yourself to stay upright. Instead, gently lie down on your side, with your head slightly elevated, and just breathe. The discomfort may feel overwhelming, but don't force yourself to power through it. I know it's tempting. Many of us have been raised with a mindset that pushing through the pain is a sign of strength. But in this case, that mindset could be the very thing that harms you. In this situation, stopping, sitting still, becomes the greatest act of self-preservation. It's easy to feel embarrassed in such a vulnerable moment. The idea of calling for help and then doing nothing, just sitting there, waiting for someone to come to your aid, can make you feel weak or unproductive. But believe me, doing nothing in this case is doing something immensely important. By doing nothing, you give your heart a fighting chance to stabilize. You allow your breath to slow, your anxiety to ease, and your oxygen reserves to last longer. You're giving your body the space it needs to focus on survival, rather than running out of steam trying to keep up with the tasks of the day. Take Alice, for example. She's 81 years old, and one day, she felt a crushing pressure across her chest. Her first instinct, like so many of us, was to get up, clean up the kitchen, and gather herself. But then, she remembered her doctor's advice, which had always stuck with her. If you think it's your heart, sit down. Everything else can wait. And so, Alice sank into her favorite recliner, still and quiet, and waited for help to arrive. That moment of stillness, of choosing to do nothing, likely saved her life. It prevented her symptoms from escalating into something far more dangerous, possibly full cardiac arrest. So, remember this amid the chaos. If you ever feel that telltale pressure, that shortness of breath, that dizziness creeping in, don't try to finish what you're doing. Don't think you have time to tidy up or prepare yourself. Stop everything, right where you are, and move as little as possible to a safer position. Sit, lie down, and just breathe slowly. Focus on nothing else but surviving. And while you may feel like you're doing nothing, you are doing the most important thing you can, protecting your life. Number 5. Unlocking your door for emergency responders. In a crisis, every second counts, and something as simple as unlocking your door for emergency responders could make all the difference between life and death. It may sound like a small, even trivial act, but in the heat of an emergency, these moments are precious. If you have the strength and clarity after calling for help, unlocking your front door should be one of the first things you do. Yes, paramedics are trained to break down doors if needed, but that comes with a price. Extra time, potential damage to your home, and the risk of startling you or causing further injury in the process. That simple act of unlocking the door can save critical minutes. Minutes that could be the difference between getting the help you need in time or facing the worst. The key here is preparation, thinking ahead, especially if you live alone, in an apartment, or in a gated community where access can be more complicated. Is your door easily unlocked from the inside? Is your address visible? Do you have a spare key stashed somewhere accessible for those who may need it? These things may not seem important on a regular day, but in those moments of panic, when your heart is racing, these seemingly small considerations can be life-saving. Let me share a story with you. Paul, a 76-year-old man, was living in a small condo when the unthinkable happened. His symptoms started to show, and his heart raced with fear. But he did what so many people forget to do in the chaos of the moment. He called 911, chewed an aspirin, and unlocked his door, all within a matter of 2 minutes. The paramedics later said that this simple act helped them reach him 30 seconds faster, saving time that could have meant the difference between life and death. That's the last thing I would have thought of, Paul later reflected, but it might have been what got me help just in time. His quick thinking and preparation were crucial in a moment where seconds mattered, and it may have been the very thing that saved his life. Of course, if walking to the door feels too risky amid an emergency, do not force yourself. Sit down, focus on your breathing, and wait for help to arrive. But if you are near the door, if you feel steady enough, take the time to unlock it. It's a small act, but it tells the responders that you're ready for them, that you've done your part, and now it's time for them to do the rest. For those with mobility challenges or who live alone, consider investing in a smart lock with remote access or a medical lockbox for your key. It's a simple, small preparation, but one that can make all the difference when it truly counts. Preparing for an emergency in this way isn't just about saving time. It's about showing readiness, ensuring that when help arrives, every second is maximized for your well-being. Number 6. Using your phone's speaker or medical ID features. Imagine finding yourself alone during one of the most terrifying experiences of your life, a heart attack. It's a moment filled with fear, uncertainty, and a heavy sense of isolation. In that terrifying silence, your phone becomes more than just a tool to contact help. It transforms into your lifeline, a bridge between life and death, and the difference between survival and not. One of the most crucial actions you can take in this moment is using your phone's speakerphone. It's so simple, yet so vital. Switching to speakerphone enables you to communicate with emergency responders hands-free, so you can focus all your energy on something more important. You're breathing, you're calm, and staying as composed as possible. In a time of distress, the act of holding a phone to your ear can feel overwhelming. It might even make it harder to breathe deeply, and every labored breath feels like an eternity. That's why using a speakerphone isn't just a convenience. It's a lifeline, allowing you to be more comfortable and giving you the space to stay focused. But it's more than just about comfort. Speakerphone also helps ensure that emergency dispatchers can hear you more clearly, especially if you start to feel too weak to speak. If you can no longer voice your distress, they can still hear your breathing, any movements, and even the tone of your voice. Every sound becomes a clue that can guide them in helping you more efficiently. But that's not all. Amid this chaos, your phone has a feature that can be a literal game changer: your emergency medical ID. This is information that can save your life, especially if you're unable to communicate. On an iPhone, your emergency medical ID is accessible from the lock screen. Android phones often have similar features. This tool holds the vital details that paramedics need to know about you: your age, any medical conditions, your medications, allergies, everything that could affect the kind of care you need. Take Susan, for example. At 79 years old, she passed out just moments before paramedics arrived. Thanks to her medical ID set up on her phone, they were able to quickly see that she had diabetes and a penicillin allergy. This critical information prevented them from making a potentially dangerous mistake by administering something that could have worsened her condition. It didn't stop there. They also used her emergency contact information to call her daughter, offering her the peace of mind that her mother was in good hands. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Setting up your medical ID is a task that takes less than 5 minutes, but its value is immeasurable. The information you enter, your name, birth date, medical conditions, allergies, and emergency contacts, could one day save your life or the life of a loved one. And it's not just for the tech-savvy. It's for every single one of us, no matter our age or familiarity with technology. It's for everyone who might find themselves in a situation where they can't speak for themselves. So, if you ever feel that sudden, terrifying pang in your chest, That sensation you've heard about but never thought would happen to you. Take a moment, use your speakerphone, and stay connected. Let the person on the other end guide you with their calm voice, their steady instructions, and their unwavering presence. Their guidance can make the waiting a little less unbearable, and their support can make all the difference. And should the unthinkable happen, if you can no longer speak, your phone, your lifeline, will speak for you. Number 7. Slowing your breath to steady your heart. Amid a heart attack, the world can feel like it's spinning out of control. The panic grips you like a vice, squeezing the air from your lungs, and the fear of the unknown consumes you. Your chest tightens, your thoughts race, and every second stretches into an eternity. It feels like your body is betraying you, and you may wonder if you'll make it through. But even in that overwhelming moment, there's still one powerful tool you can rely on: your breath. It may seem insignificant, but in the chaos of the moment, it is the one thing you can control. And if you use it wisely, it can be your lifeline, your anchor in the storm. Controlling your breath isn't a miracle cure for a heart attack, but it is a critical lifeline to prevent your body from spiraling into complete shock before help arrives. As panic sets in, your heart rate accelerates, feeding into the cycle of fear. But by slowing your breath, you can begin to break that cycle. It's not about perfection, it's about simplicity. No complex techniques, no special equipment. Just you and your breath. Try this. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose for about 4 seconds. Hold for just a beat, and then gently exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat. Focus entirely on the rhythm of each breath, grounding yourself in the present moment. This simple act does wonders. It slows your heart rate, calms your nervous system, and creates a moment of stillness in the chaos. By focusing on your breath, you're giving your heart a fighting chance to hold steady, preventing the dangerous arrhythmias that can be triggered by stress and panic. Think about Frank, an 83-year-old man who experienced this firsthand. When the pain hit, he felt completely consumed by fear, as if he was drowning in it. But amid his terror, Frank remembered a simple breathing exercise his doctor had taught him during a routine checkup. It wasn't a cure, but it was a lifeline. He focused on his breath, kept himself still, and let go of the panic. When the paramedics arrived, his heart was still in distress, but it hadn't gone into full arrest. "I just kept thinking, stay calm. Stay alive," Frank said. These words became his mantra, a quiet reminder that in the face of the worst, calmness is a power in itself. Frank's story teaches us that we don't have to be perfect. We just have to remember what to do when it matters most. And we can practice this life-saving skill anytime, when you're resting, feeling anxious, or even just watching TV. The more familiar it becomes, the more instinctively your body will turn to it when the stakes are high. Breathing alone won't fix your arteries, but it can buy you the time you desperately need. It can keep the oxygen flowing to your brain and body, help your heart maintain its rhythm, and, in some cases, be the difference between life and death. In those precious moments, before the paramedics arrive, it's your breath that can make all the difference. It may sound simple, but don't underestimate its power. Stay still. Stay alive. Final thoughts. Surviving a heart attack alone isn't a matter of luck. It's about preparation, awareness, and, most importantly, calm action. These 7 steps may seem simple on their own, but when combined, they form a powerful chain of survival. Recognize the warning signs. Call for help immediately. Take aspirin if you can. Sit or lie down to conserve your strength. Make it easier for help to reach you. Use your phone's tools wisely. And finally, slow your breathing to steady your heart. Each of these steps is a small act of self-preservation, a deliberate choice to gain control in a situation where everything feels uncontrollable. Each one gives you a little more time, a little more strength, and a little more power. And ultimately, each step is a reminder that even when you're alone, you are never powerless. Heart attacks may make you feel isolated, But with these tools, you can fight back. You are never truly helpless. You've got this. Thank you for watching and taking the time to learn these life-saving tips with us. We hope you now feel a little more equipped to handle the unexpected, knowing that you have the power within yourself to stay calm and act in a crisis. So, what have you learned from this video that you'll put into practice? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you plan to do differently in your life after watching this video. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on more valuable tips like this. Stay safe, stay strong, and remember, you're never powerless when you're prepared.